Techthusiasm live podcast.
That's what I call an entrance.
Time to go live. Hello, folks. Welcome to Monday, November 17th, Techthusiasm Live podcast. Happy to chat today at the relative completion of the living room home theater overhaul project. A lot of exciting stuff going on. A lot of work put into all of this really over these last few weekends. I feel like I haven't had a break. I work all week, working some of the evenings, and then work these last couple of weekends, almost all the way through, taking care of stuff, installing stuff, setting things up. And that's definitely not a complaint, but just to say that it's a lot of effort and energy. So we'll talk a bit about some of that tonight, or today here, this afternoon, this evening, whatever it may be for you, 5:00 p.m. Eastern. Thanks everybody for coming out. And yeah, so some exciting things in the past and some exciting things also to look forward to coming up. I hope everybody had a really great weekend. We had the Motor City Comic Con this past weekend. So I took off Friday afternoon as I usually do. Usually my son and I just we go hunting some of the comic books and stuff that we're kind of shopping for that we want to add to our collection, buy. Although I have to say that most comic book conventions are not comic book conventions anymore. They're kind of like pop culture extravaganzas nowadays. But my daughter actually went, and some of her friends as well. They dressed up back in their Halloween costumes. Her and her friend that is a boy were Joker and Harley Quinn for Halloween. So they reused their costume and went cosplay at the show. So that was pretty cool to see. We did not reuse our Ninja Turtle costumes. Too much serious shopping. But I almost bought a book, but couldn't get the guy to negotiate the right price for what he had to sell, what I wanted to buy. So I passed. I'm hoping to actually win the same book, similar condition and stuff in an auction tonight on Heritage Auctions. So that'll fill another one of our collection holes on the wall. Almost bought some action figures again as well. My son, and he's right in that action figure age range also, probably at the high end of it. But we looked at one, almost bought this really cool Captain America, Mezco Captain America figure, just to play around with, set on the desk or whatever. And but we looked at it, we debated it, and then when we came back, it had already sold. So maybe something else to purchase after the fact. But so that was our Friday evening. That was pretty fun. And then we spent, again, pretty significant amount of time over the weekend kind of finalizing the installation. I've got 3 videos actually all edited and latently ready to publish. I've already put one out for members first, not members only. I don't really do any members only content, but I do really try to do members first content, especially when I have stuff queued up and ready to go. So we did I did another vlog, basically another entry in the living room vlog series where we kind of finalized the setup of the Focal Utopia speakers. I can actually show off the picture. I shared it on the community page, but there you go. That's where we are right now. Basically, the grills are on. I did decide to go grills on. So question of the day. I don't know if I can do a poll in here. Are you a speaker grills on or off type of person? That's been the question. My daughter actually was lamenting the fact that we covered them up. She really liked the way that they looked exposed. I did as well. I think I really could go either way on it. I think here's the exposed photo, and I thought they looked really solid. The black looked cool, nice contrast and all of that. Stands out a little bit more black than the white, but I really like white speakers too, and brighter colors and different types of colors on big towers and things. So the white grills they kind of look grayish with the silver trim and stuff. They actually still appeal to me. So one of the things in the last install vlog that I was kind of debating was the junction between the speaker and the subwoofer. And you take a couple of plates off of these speakers in order to be able to mesh the two together in a single, to make them basically look and present like a single install. And the instructions say to just reuse one of those plates and put it on. But they have this like foam backing. I wasn't sure how it was going to fit on there, but I just did it and it actually fit just fine. So I covered it up, and that almost made me say, okay, without that little exposed strip in between the two speakers, it looks even nicer to just leave the grills off. But I wanted to go ahead and do it. So I was kind of contemplating, this is the main floor of the house. It's not the theater room, so it's open a lot of open windows, open doors, dust and things coming through. So the grills would afford some dust protection to the drivers and stuff underneath. And then we also have, not in our family directly, our kids are a little bit older now, teenagers ish, almost both of them. But we do have some variety of single digits and some some real low single digit nieces and nephews and stuff that come over. And so like, I just, these are too expensive. Each one of these stacks, the Utopia speaker and the subwoofer, like, list price MSRP is like $12,000. I just can't risk one of our friends or families, little ones, coming over and walking up to the wall and just pushing in a driver, or compromising something on that speaker and being in a very, very difficult situation where it's either a lot of money out of my pocket or a lot of money out of their pocket that they may not actually have to deal with that situation. So better to be protective. I think the metal grills in particular afford afford really nice damage and touch protection more than just a fabric speaker grill would do. So we put them in. So there's a 20-minute, it ended up being about 20 minutes edited, where I talk about putting the bracket in, and when we did the grills. It's not just a matter of like just put the grill up and you're done. For these speakers, it's a little bit of a process. There's actually two different grill pieces, of course, because the speaker has its own grill, the subwoofer has its own grill. They're magnetic, and so it's a little tricky to kind of work with them, get them in the right spots. You got to get the two pieces to kind of mate together nicely. And then they include a variety of these like cover strips. So there's these strips that you use at the top and the bottom, and then over the junction point that locks it all in nice and clean. So if I actually were to go back to this photo, you can kind of see this like silver strip at the top, the silver strip at the junction, and then a silver strip at the bottom. And the bottom one has a little black like Focal logo, kind of like screen printed, I guess, or printed on it, which is nice. I like the touch of the logo on the bottom. I really like the Focal logo. I think it looks cool. I did actually, I'll put a picture up in the community page as well. Today, or just before the stream, I had a couple of these extra, these like 3D metal silver reflective, like Focal little badges. They're actually on the speakers behind me. If you look, you can kind of see right this side, right there. Boom, that little thing, it sticks onto the front of the grill, kind of like pegs into the holes of the metal grill. I really like those. I think they're really sharp looking. They have a little shine to them when the light hits them just right. And so I had a few of those left over from the other speakers, and I'm like, oh, you know what? We're going to put these on the speakers up in the living room. So I actually put them up at the very top, and I think they look pretty good up there. I thought about putting them at the bottom of the speaker section near the junction strip, but I think they looked a little bit cooler up on the top. So there's like a 3D shiny logo on the top, and then there's the more subtle like black printed logo down on the bottom. But after we put them up, and you'll go through, if you watch the vlog, it'll publish on Wednesday. I think it's scheduled for Wednesday morning. But again, up for members first right now. I published it, I think, yesterday, and then it'll go public. Published it for members first yesterday, Sunday. It'll go public for everybody Wednesday morning. I kind of went through a streams of consciousness, a couple of steps whereby I kind of transitioned from really liking the look of the speakers with the drivers to I really do like the look of them with the grills on also. So I don't know, 6 of one, half dozen of another. I would be fine either way. I asked my wife, and she wasn't really committal to saying whether she preferred the grills versus being indifferent to it all. I think for the most part, she knows that we're pretty much like beyond at this point in the home theater game. We're kind of beyond reasonable levels of equipment and activity and all of this. So she kind of just lets it be whatever it's going to be. Doesn't really chime in with too much opinion now. But yeah, in any case, they're working great. So I'm getting closer and closer. I will be hosting like a home theater meetup, get together, open house event this coming Saturday, November 22nd. If somebody happens to catch this, you're a channel regular, we've corresponded or whatnot, and you want to get to the Southeast Michigan area, feel free to get in touch with me about it. The guest list and the RSVP list is getting pretty good. So we'll have a bunch of like the Michigan home theater folks in the regular meetup crew. We've got some of my personal friends coming over, some work colleagues that are interested in home theater, and then a variety of other folks that I've met and interacted with by virtue of the channel and the business. I was trying to get in touch with some other YouTubers that are actually local in the area as well, or even some with a little bit of a drive, but getting various levels of commitment. Unfortunately, I published the meetup a little bit late, so I didn't really give people a lot of advance notice to be able to attend. Unfortunately, that's just the way the scheduling went. I was working around another meetup that happened a couple weekends ago, or last weekend actually, not this past one, but a weekend ago, and then there was some other family activity that my wife and my kids and stuff might have been looking to plan this coming Saturday, part and parcel of their homeschool group and clubs and stuff. But that didn't come to pass. So the weekend opened up for me to use it a couple days ago. So grabbed it and that's that. So again, if anybody catches this and you'd like to come out, of course, we'll be demoing both of the systems. I'll be running demos in the living room. I'll be running demos in the theater here for sure, cycling people through. We only have 5 chairs. And so to get the good experience of the demo, we'll have to kind of like let people kind of come through and out. I won't be able to fully demo this room at volume and the theater and the living room at volume because they're right above and below each other. So there'll be some competing sound in the same space there, but it'll work out just fine. We'll go around. I have food and refreshments and catering and all of that. And I've been in the process this week also. I put together a big old takeaway bin. So I've got a bunch of cables, odds and ends, like bits and pieces of stuff that I've acquired in various ways that I don't have a use for anymore. And I'm just basically going to put them out there. And if anybody can use the stuff, they're kind of free to take. So after we were done on, this was on Saturday. Was it Saturday? Yeah, we were done on Saturday with the grills. That's pretty much what my son and I spent the majority of kind of Saturday doing. Sunday, and a little bit Saturday as well. I did a variety of cleanup. So our storage room all around like the home theater rack in that area was just a mess. I had for so long, for months, probably the better part of this year, is that this like stuff would come in or little boxes or whatever, bits and pieces and odds and ends. I just kept throwing them in the same shelving area of our storage room over on the side of the rack. And so I'm like, all right, now we got to put these boxes away for these speakers because I don't want to trash the boxes for these in walls and stuff. I try to keep the boxes for really just about everything. The only thing in all of my home theater equipment I don't have the boxes for is the screen because it's just insane to try to keep this really crazy long, crazy long thing. But I did keep the hard cardboard roll up that the screen material came in just in case we ever take it down. But I didn't keep the frame box, and I didn't keep the boxes. Didn't keep the boxes for these chairs, of course. That would have been a lot of volume of boxes, and I didn't keep the boxes for the acoustical panels, but all of the other like equipment, speakers, subwoofers, source gear, networking equipment, all that, generally keep the boxes because you never know when something is going to end up passing through and you're going to have an upgrade. So we got the boxes way up high on the shelves, all put away nicely and reorganized a bit, kind of restructured up on top. I did get rid of some odds and ends and some boxes, and I went through like all my parts bins. I have like kind of a general parts bin, and I have like a cable bin. And so I pulled a lot of stuff out of those bins that I don't expect to need or use again. And so some of that is in the to the takeaway, the gimme bin for the meetup event, the get together event, and then some of it I just discarded as well, depending on exactly kind of what it was. But so it's really nice. The storage room is really nice. The table is usable again. The stuff is largely cleaned off the table. My pending area over on the side is nice and clean, and I have some space to work over there now. And all the things that I have now intending to keep are the boxes are all nicely organized and stored. I'm a super organized person, so I appreciate that. Appreciate having that kind of all set. And I've been working through some other like smaller pieces of tech and items and stuff as well. Again, getting rid of boxes and um, yeah, and just handling all that stuff. I bought a couple of other things as well. We've had really good luck. Or not good luck, but I think we've had a really great experience filming for the channel on the gimbal and having my son run stuff. I hope folks are noticing actually. If you are, I appreciate. Leave a comment and let me know what you think. Like the presentation and the feel of the last couple of vlogs were very different because I've actually been having my son participate a lot more and kind of actually running as a cameraman. Usually I'm doing a lot of stuff by myself. So I've got my camera set up on a tripod and it's very static. And it's hard to either like show things and be on camera at the same time. But now that we have this gimbal, and he really figured out nicely how to run it. He can be filming, so I'm on camera speaking and showing at the same time, and it's a little bit more dynamic and stuff. So I think I'm really proud anyway of the last couple of videos that came out on the channel, and that includes the one with the speaker grills because I largely had him filming as I was going about working on the stuff and doing the stuff. He's still working a little bit on his framing as well. There's a couple times in editing where it's like, oh man, he needed to move the camera up or down or side to side a little bit to kind of capture things. But hey, we're all learning, we're all getting better, and I think the production quality. I'm really proud of the production quality. I think we're stepping up. So I also bought a some wireless microphones, some like magnetically clippable, like lavalier style microphones. It'll come in a little 2-pack. So now when he's recording and he's got the gimbal and I'm doing stuff, he can be further away and I don't have to worry about the sound of my voice being a little inconsistent. So that'll smooth that out as well. So I'm really excited about that stuff. And again, the kind of the production value of the channel. And now when I go to like Audio Vice Live, or if I end up going to Cedia in 2026 or some other shows and stuff, I can take all of that gear with me. I can actually really do a like booth interview or like a booth tour and have it come out actually have it come out really nice just using like iPhone camera and the other bits and pieces. So we'll have the microphones. I think they'll get delivered on Wednesday because I did notice in editing some of the Handycam gimbal vlogs. If I'm closer to the camera, it's a little bit louder because we're just using the microphone off the iPhone. But if I'm a little further away, it gets a little quieter. Now we'll have like real consistently better audio along with the better video presentation. So I'm super excited for that. And again, I hope folks are noticing as well, putting effort, energy, attention, and all of that, into the channel, trying to get better at this whole thing, improve as I go. So yeah, so that was fun. So I'm glad we got all this stuff organized. I need to do probably another, as it is with a lot of things, right? You do a cleanup pass. You try to get rid of stuff and challenge yourself. Am I really going to need this? Is it just bulk? It's just taking up space or whatnot. So I need to go in there this week, hopefully, again before the meetup, and do one more pass and say like, okay, I went through a cursory organization and reduction pass. I'm going to do one more detailed one and ask myself some hard questions about what bits and pieces and odds and ends I really need versus what I can get rid of, and again reduce, reuse, and recycle, or put some things into the hands of folks that they could actually use the stuff. So we'll see. I may get to a point where if after the get together, if there's still some amount of this stuff sitting in this parts bin, I might just end up doing some giveaways here on the channel because some of the stuff in there is pretty good. Like I've got an Echo Dot that I've never used. I've got another like Amazon, I think Amazon Echo device for like voice control, stuff like that. I've got a number of like really long fiber optic HDMI cables and stuff uh, that are still work great, but I've just replaced obviously with the newer ones that I have for the living room project and stuff. So some pretty actually really relevant, effectively like good as new, and some choice useful things in there. So I don't want to just throw a bunch of stuff in a landfill. I want to try to find use for it. And I could spend a little bit of money shipping a couple things out to some folks to do some channel giveaways. So stay tuned for that. Maybe in the future live streams, like we'll give away a 40-foot fiber optic HDMI cable or something like that. I'm going to run through the comments and say hello to some folks. Again, welcome everybody if you're coming in just now. coming off another kind of working weekend where we kind of really finalized some elements of the living room setup. So hello, Julius. Always first, super appreciate it. DJA Jamrit 510. Love your new setup. Thank you. You inspire me. Awesome. I appreciate that. I really hope that's what people take away from the content is some people in comments are like, oh, like you're just flexing or whatever. It's like, no, I'm not flexing. I'm here to make this stuff because I really enjoy it. I'm passionate about it. I'm excited about it. And I have this unique ability to do all of this stuff and share it. It's just fun. So I'm happy to read something like that, that if what I'm sharing and what I'm doing inspires folks, informs folks, educates folks, and whatever in this hobby. I love that. That's really fun and rewarding aspect of the whole thing. I was asking, curious how much the upgrades cost. I'm not sure. I mean, are you doing anything? Are you doing anything in the CM? I'm not. Dedicated in the dedicated movie theater. Well, in terms of what stuff costs, list price these Focal speakers, a Focal 1000 Utopia LCR. I think current pricing is 8,500 a piece, and I believe the IW sub modules are 3,500. I could be off plus or minus a few $100, but I'm pretty sure that's about in the realm. So each one of these stacks here is 12 grand. That's and then the only other thing I bought for the project, I had to get myself a second NADM 23. List price, I think that's like a $3,500 amplifier, I think now, give or take. List price. I do actually sell and I sell the Focal stuff. I sell the NAD stuff as well. If folks are looking for NAD, I spent like a couple $100 on cables. RUI Pro did send some of the longer cables that I used, but I ended up buying some of the other ones and some of the bits and pieces as well. So there's probably actually a few $100 in cables total value that went into that project, and the physical work to rebuild that wall was $5,700. That was all just cash spent to the contractor for the demo, the drywall, the paint, the reframing, and all of that stuff. And then we spent a little bit more beyond that for some of the extra electrical and some of the extra paint work that we had done. I haven't done a TV. I haven't done anything with the television yet, so that hasn't really been a cost center. The LG 83-inch G2 is back up there hanging in there. I reused my Anthem STR preamplifier. I think that's like a $5,000 piece. And then I already had one NADM 23. So again, that's like 3,500. The Kaleidoscape I did pick up prior to the project. Before the project, I did pick up another Strato E player for myself. I've been running Kaleidoscape one player in my setup for several years, 8 years now. But I wanted to have, with this setup now and the separation kind of between the zones, I wanted to have dedicated Kaleidoscape players, one for each zone, playing off the Terra server. So that was an extra. That was $3,000 for a Strato E. I already had the Control 4 set up, so we just continued to leverage that. I already had built the gaming PC a little while back, earlier this year. I did switch no pun intended, from the Nintendo Switch 1 to the Switch 2. So the Switch 2 is $500, plus about $100 for the memory card. I just sold the Switch 1 as well. Somebody came and picked it up this afternoon, so that's gone. That's nice. I wish all this other stuff would sell as fast as the Switch 1 did. I'm gonna really fire sale some prices soon here also. So stay tuned to the community tab. If somebody can use a pair of these Focal IW LCR6 1000 in walls, if somebody can use these Triad 10-inch bronze subs and the rack amps that go with them, I'm ready to let those go. The boxes are sitting here. I want them out of my basement, and I'd like to get some cash back to put to use for some other things. If this stuff had already sold, I probably would have bought the TCL 98 already. But I've got stuff instead of cash. So if I can move this stuff, I would actually probably be inclined to buy the TCL 98 ahead of selling the G2, and I would just put the G2 off to the side somewhere and hope it sells. But yeah, that's about what we're looking. I will end up doing sometime in November, December, before the end of the year. I will end up doing a full like living room tour. I'm kind of hoping to get the TCL in there first. But I will end up doing a full living room home theater tour video. and I'll break the whole cost of all of the equipment down and everything like that. I did one back, I think it was in the spring for the theater room, and but I'm long overdue to update a tour for the living room. Just waiting and waiting and waiting to get this project done. So now that it's there, I will be doing that, and I'll lay out the cost of the whole project. In terms of doing anything in the home theater, I am working on stuff right now. Another thing that I did this weekend involved, let's just say, passing a certification exam for something. A first level certification exam for something really awesome. Maybe something related to a teaser picture that I put out a few weeks ago. And I'm actually registered now to attend the advanced level class in a couple of weeks. So as well. So I'll be heading back to Chicago for a couple days for the level 2 hands-on in-person training session for this thing. So yeah, there's going to be stuff going on in the theater very soon. Julius, yeah, Speaker Grill's off for me. I saw you in the comments, definitely. There's pros and cons to either way. Love them both. Did you talk to Anthem about calibrating? No, I that's one thing. It's like so much stuff to do. I had a couple of other like brand correspondences that I needed to do. I wanted to make sure that I let the folks know that I was like kind of done setting stuff up. They wanted to use the videos and do whatever they wanted to see fit with the content and whatnot. And mentioned to a few of the other brands as well about the get together open house thing coming up. I need to do this very soon, actually. Ideally, I'd like to get an answer to this week, because if I have to redo any calibrations upstairs, I would like to do them before Saturday and really have that room kind of fully and strongly dialed in. I think it sounds awesome. I just want to make sure that I'm getting all of the bass response that I would expect to get out of that speaker array, and out of those subwoofers in particular. I also need to, I think I need to redo the room calibration down here as well. I think like the bass energy down here is a little out of control, and it's cool, but I think it's a little bit out of control. And I think that's because the last time, a little while back, I think SVS had pushed out new firmware for the subwoofers, and it changed some of the volume scale. And I'm not sure, and it might have changed a couple of other elements of them. And I feel like something changed in here without me changing anything. And the bass energy is hitting like really rough, um, in like a more rougher way. I can actually see a lot more of it happening as well. I can see the vibrations hitting the screen, shaking the screen, and that. Maybe if only we had something like waveforming or whatever to control the bass, we could configure things in a different way. But as it is now, I think before Saturday, I'm going to come down here before they get together. I'm going to come down here and redo this calibration as well, kind of reset some things and just make sure that it's cleaned up and as accurate as I can get it. The last time I did a get together a year ago, people loved it. Like a lot of comments, best video, or a couple folks like basically saying the best image that they've seen in a home theater setup, of course, with the 900 and the Mad BR and all of that. But people really love the audio, so I want to make sure the experience is up to par and expectation. Infusion 5112, welcome. Always love seeing some new names popping up. Hey, Jeremy, will those new fiber optic HDMI cables reliably handle CEC? They do handle CEC. According to the manuals and the spec, RUI Pro says if you're going to expect to use CEC, you have to power the cable on both sides. I'm not sure specifically what the rationale of that is, but I'm guessing because maybe the link has to stay alive. Yeah, the link has to that would be why. The link would have to stay alive all of the time in order for that control signal to be passed between the two, between the source and the display. And if you only power the display side, which is what they generally recommend, that's what I'm doing now, you turn the TV off, like on the LG anyway. I don't know if every TV operates this way, but on the LG, you turn off the television, the USB ports go down. Maybe there's a setting to control that. Actually, I wonder if I should check that out. I don't mind actually the USB port shutting off, because it's like, why should the cable stay alive? I don't actually use CEC in my setups as well. So this is another thing. If it will reliably handle it, I don't know. I don't actually have any like CEC connection between, like I don't even have an HDMI connection between my preamp and the television. I use an optical cable for that because the STR preamp doesn't have HDMI. I'm waiting to see someday, hopefully maybe 2026, if Anthem updates the STR. I would really like them to see them update the STR. Actually, I think it needs some network improvements. I would love to have it get a network-based UI, like the AVM and the MRX series have. So I think there's some stuff they could and should do. Love to see HDMI on it. I'd love to see like a small HDMI switcher on it. Like give me like 3 inputs, two inputs, at least 1 output, and make the output be eARC. I would love that for an STR2 Anthem if you're watching. But as it is, I don't really use the CEC. But I'll have to double check this. Just maybe comment on this next week again. Does LG, or if anybody knows, does LG televisions have a setting to keep the USB ports powered on when the TV is off, right? Is in its soft off state. That would keep the HDMI cable alive. But if your display kills USB power, that's why I think you would probably need also to have CEC power on the source side, so that it could turn the television on via CEC when the TV was off and it didn't have power to the cable. So they are supposed to support it. I can say as well that I haven't had any troubles with these cables. I know Chintapit was questioning that a little bit. Welcome, my friend. They've been stable all these weeks, all last 2 weeks, or particularly since the last week. Using the Apple TV from the basement. My son's been playing actually some Apple TV games again, so he's been using it a little bit more than I have actually. Sneaky Sasquatch got another update not that long ago. They added a farm and some other stuff to the game, so that's been working fine over the long cables. Done some Kaleidoscape demos or whatever. Haven't really watched a movie up there at all. But I still need to figure out. Oh, that's the other thing before Saturday. I got to get the whole PC fully kind of updated, validated. I'm sure there's some driver updates and some other things that we haven't done in the last 6 weeks because we've spent all of our gaming on this guy lately. So this is the other thing that I wanted to talk a little bit about in the stream here today. Let's go back to this camera view. DJ Emrit, which TV are you getting next? TCL High Big. So my intent right now is to hopefully get a TCL 98-inch QM9K. That's what I would like to do. In fact, one of the things that was actually holding me back a little bit was a couple of comments that I had seen that suggested that TCL doesn't have a great Control 4 experience. But I actually did find an IP driver. That's the main thing that I really want to be able to do is I want a reliable Control 4 experience with an IP driver that can command discrete inputs so that I can switch between the 4 devices that I have and I don't have to worry about anything. I don't want to try to mess with IR if I don't have to. But if I had to, I guess I really would, but it'd be nice if to use IP. And it looks like there is a driver. I found one, I forget where it was posted. It's a purchase driver from a third party. That's how it is in Control 4. There's a lot of drivers built into the system and like available kind of naturally in the Control 4 ecosystem, but there are third parties that make drivers for other devices and stuff as well, and then they sell them. The integrators buy them and they put them in projects, and the people make a little bit of money as software engineers on the side. And I did find what should be a workable IP driver for TCL TVs using Google TV as the platform, which the QM9K does. So my intention for the television here has been to get the 98 QM9K and then potentially consider another 2026 model year upgrade exchange. That could mean an LG 97-inch G6 in the spring or when the time comes, or we'll see what happens next year. But I would like to get the TCL in if I can. And I think again, if a couple things that I have pending go right, basically just need a little bit more revenue to kind of come through, and I would be inclined to just go ahead and buy it, especially with the pricing, with the Black Friday pricing that's starting to get ready to come out. The 98 QM9K is $4,000 street price now. I think it was $6K list price. It's been at Best Buy now. It's $2,000 cheaper, and so the dealer price, I can sell TCL as well, so the dealer pricing is down also accordingly with the price reduction. So it's a very attractive price point, way cheaper, way cheaper than the LG. But you'll see as we go forward. What I'm hoping to do next spring or early next year is to potentially end up collaborating a little more deeply with LG. I really like LG. I love the OLEDs. I love the brand. I love them as gaming monitors and stuff, which is an important use case for me in the living room upstairs. And so um, the next opportunity to kind of do a little bit more of a deep engagement with them is not available to me until next spring with the 2026 model refresh and all of that stuff. So I figure if I use the TCL for 6 months, that'll be awesome. It'll be great. And I'll get the experience. I can make the content and all that. Chinchip was saying, I don't think LG G2 don't have USB power while it's off. That's correct. Right now I can confirm the G2 depowers the USB ports when the TV is off for sure. And I was just wondering, I don't know if there's a setting to be able to like have them always on or not in the menus and stuff. Actually, that TV just got updated, I think in this last week as well. I didn't do anything to talk about it because I don't really use the TV's operating system at all. But the G2 got updated, got the big update from like 2024 to the 2025 Google TV platform. So it was a really big update. Changed a bunch of stuff in the TV's streaming apps and menu presentation and stuff like that. So I like that. I like that anyway, even if I don't use it. For the people that do, what is that? 3 model years out of current spec, and they're still keeping it. They're still keeping it up to date, platform up to date with the new with the new releases and that. So I always love when people do that. Speaking of firmware updates, something else that happened. There's just so much. There's just so much stuff to do. The LG, not LG, the JVC 2.0 firmware. I think it's 2.0 is the rev number. 2.0 firmware for the 800 and 900 projectors is out with all of those picture setting improvements and some of the menu improvements and stuff like that. I haven't even given it a thought, unfortunately, to be able to come down here and do that. It's a little bit of a pain for me, unfortunately, to do that. God, I wish JVC, if you're watching, please at some point do an online update. Just let the projector, if it's connected on Ethernet, let it go out on the web and download the update and apply it and install it and forget this USB thumb drive stuff, because it is a PITA to get to the back of that projector in the back of a closet from the front. Is real tight. Thankfully, I have some really shallow depth USB keys that I can use, but man, I got to like poke around in there, and then I'm going to bump it, and I'm screwing up my alignment and all that. So I'll probably do that coming up here soon, and I'll probably try to get two things to talk about out of it, because I also have the UPS still. I need to change up the power plug structure of the projector in the closet there behind me, and finally put in I think it's a 450 VA Wattbox UPS that I bought to protect that projector from power drops and stuff like that. I was actually sitting in here not that long ago, a couple weekends ago. I think I was helping a customer, and I was doing it down here because the family was home and it's quiet. But I also wanted the projector on because I wanted to look at the menus and the options and stuff on the projector. I was helping him with the JVC projector, and I lost power. Boom, just totally cut the projector off. So I've had that UPS sitting also in the storage room here for months, and I haven't put it in. So if I'm climbing around in there in the dark trying to reach behind that projector, I'm going to try to maximize my reasons for doing it. Now I have 2 reasons, not just one. So maybe after the dust settles on the get together, I'll finally take care of that. I'll get the projector upgraded and get it on the UPS as well. I'll take this question and let's talk some Nintendo. DJ Emirate 510. Do you use Control 4 to control all devices in living room and theater? Which model do you recommend for a setup like yours? I do, yes. My whole home is Control 4 based. So we've been in this house since 2013, and it was wired for and conceived of as basically a Control 4 smart home from the very beginning. So we use Control 4 lighting, garage doors. I've actually de-installed some Control 4 stuff. I was going to say ceiling fans, but the ceiling fans in the bedrooms and most of the lighting on the second floor. We actually took all of the control out. It's just too much wireless stuff all around the household and useless control points that were unused in the smart system. Trying to get my door locks back on it, trying to get my thermostat back on it, fireplace. The ceiling fan in the living room is on the control 4 setup, though. That actually needs to get managed by Dan and fully turned on. Our alarm system keys in to control 4, and yes, it has control of all of the devices in both the theater and the living room. We use a single Core 5 controller that is in the rack in the storage room to run both rooms, and I only have one remote. I have one Halo Touch remote. It stays upstairs because that's nominally the system that we use the most. So it's accessible to the living room and it's charged in the living room area. We can grab that remote and use it. And then if somebody is going to use the theater, or we're going to use the theater as a family, I grab that remote and I just carry it down here. I change the room and I control it from there. Back in the days of the SR260 and even the Neo, I had two SR260s and two Neos. I kept one upstairs, I kept one down here, and each room had its own dedicated remote. But and they're like $1,000 a piece or whatever, I think, almost, for those remote controls. It's expensive, and we don't use the room enough, or we don't use both rooms at the same time. Saturday, it's going to be a pain. I'll be lamenting this a little bit Saturday, although and as a backup, though, we can always use your phone. You can use the app, so that actually will work just fine, because again, we'll be running both rooms at the same time. Almost never do we run both rooms at the same time in just regular day-to-day living. So, all right, let's talk some Nintendo. I'm curious, poll for the comments as well. Have you bought a Switch 2? Are you a Nintendo gamer? What is your relationship with Nintendo video games and all of that? I'm a longtime Nintendo fan, and what's the word I'm looking for? Nintendo skeptic to some extent. I was 8 years old in 1984. I turned 8 years old in 1984. So I was right there for the original NES. My buddy, my best friend, Jim, and I, man, we were playing whatever Commodore 64 games and stuff like that. And then the Nintendo Entertainment System hit, and that was it. I've owned and bought every Nintendo system since. We played so much Mario Kart on the Nintendo 64, wrestling games, GoldenEye. I'd say probably I waned a little bit after the N64. I still played a decent amount of GameCube games. Definitely was a little lighter in the Nintendo department during the Wii generation. I bought it. We had it. I think I might never have actually had. There was the Wii, and then there was like the Wii U. Those were separate systems. I think I might not have actually ever bought the Wii U. I might have actually skipped that one. But we had the Nintendo Switch 1. We played a good bit on it. Of course, the Mario Kart, some of the Mario Tennis, some of the Mario games, Odyssey, and whatever. Some other fun games. Usually the Nintendo platform for us is more of like kind of the casual gaming platform. And then I've always had either PCX or PS, Xbox along with it, or had all three for many years there, or then now into the PC. So our gaming setup now is PC. Apple TV actually is a very entry-level gaming, but PC and Nintendo. So as we were doing this living room project, kind of came to the conclusion that, you know what, there's no way I'm putting the Switch 1 back in this system. It's incomprehensible to make all of these upgrades and play anything on this 1080p old console. So it's either it's done, and we're breaking up with Nintendo, or it's time to go and finally buy the Switch 2. So last weekend, Sunday, I think it was, or Saturday, we made the decision to go ahead and pick it up. And this is pretty nice. I like the bigger screen. I think it has just a nicer feel. Buttons, the sticks, everything's more of like a softer touch. And I'm just getting it unlocked kind of here. Make sure we don't have anything on here that's compromisable. I think the materials are better. I think it feels better in the hand. I like the stand, much better stand, faster I/O. Of course, it's 4K now. It's HDR. Although those things work, we got this hooked up in the dock. I have a 30-minute video edited. It's still 30 minutes long. it's probably not the best video I've ever made, but my son and I, when it was a week ago Sunday, I think it was, we decided, you know what, let's get this thing set up now. And we're just going to turn the camera on and we're going to unbox it from scratch. We're going to go through the whole setup process and we're just going to record, and whatever happens, happens. Unscripted, unprepared. And so that video, I don't know when I'll publish it. I'll probably put it up, same thing. I'll probably put it up members first. I don't know if it'll go this week or it'll go next week. Actually, again, I have 3 videos done and edited in the kitty. Um, I'll do the This Week in Kaleidoscape video tomorrow, and there's even more content that I prepared to make this week. So there's a deluge of content coming to the Techthusiasm channel here very soon. So I don't know when any of the new stuff is going to publish, but I will try to get everything out members first as quick as possible. So anyway, over the course of a couple hours or an hour or so, we did all the setup. Initial setup, I did buy the memory card with it as well, so it's in there right now. There's a 512 gigabyte micro SD express card that we bought, plus the 256 gig of, I wish the camera would stop doing its thing there, plus the 256 gig of other storage. So we got 3/4 of a terabyte of storage space in here, which is awesome. Be able to hold a ton of games, a lot of games. And it's faster storage. The Wi-Fi is faster. We tested that. It's like 3 times faster to download, or the speed test on my Wi-Fi was about 3 times faster, 3 to 4 times faster than the Switch One was. So that's great. I I think it's an upgrade all around. We did get the dock set up. So in that video that's coming again, we did the unboxing, kind of first hands-on. It's just me and my son sitting at the kitchen island together. So he's in it. He's giving his opinions. We're talking about it as we go, comparing to some of the Switch One pieces and hardware. And I think it's an upgrade all around. And I was happy to see that there's a transfer process, which is awesome. Love to see that when you're upgrading devices in a platform, that there's a very direct mechanical, software-driven way to say, "Here's my new one, there's my old one." Get all the stuff off the old one onto the new one, and Nintendo did that. So you keep the switches in proximity of each other, and you can run them through basically a transfer, upgrade process. Brought everything over, settings, profiles, accounts, stuff like that. It auto-downloaded or auto-loaded, all the games and stuff that we had on there, or save data transferred over. So that worked like a champ. Super happy to see that. And then so we go through that whole process, and then towards the end of the video, or the latter parts of the video, I did install the dock in the living room, to the living room setup up there. I like the new dock as well. It's a little bigger, a little beefier, but the main thing about the dock is that it actually has an Ethernet port. The Switch One dock had like a USB-C, I believe it was. It had a USB port. It had power, HDMI, and USB. And it's like, why did you put a USB? Why don't you just put the stupid LAN port right on the dock? 99% of the people, excuse me, using that USB port inside the dock are using it for an Ethernet connection. So just put a LAN jack on it. And they did that. So the new dock had a built-in lag jack. I think it's gigabit. I haven't done the research or tested it, but even if it's not, who cares? I can't imagine that it's 100 meg. It should be a gigabit Ethernet port. But so that's great. So upstairs, it's wired Ethernet now directly to the dock. No need to use a separate adapter. I sold my adapter with the Switch. I basically gave them the Switch One, the adapter, the memory card, the hide-it mount, the wall mount, and all that stuff in a bundle for 150 bucks. Somebody bought it same day I listed it, so I guess I priced it too cheap. But so we're HDMI'd in, HDMI 2.1 up there, wired Ethernet, and then of course power. Big beefy power brick on this one as well. It's pulling more power from the wall, so I think they needed a more powerful power adapter and stuff to get up to the wattage necessary. But I like it. So over the last weekend and through this week a little bit, we have done a little bit of gaming upstairs on this thing. We did play some of the new Mario Kart World, and it looks nice. It looks nice. It looks like it should. It looks contemporary. It looks higher resolution. You can see the HDR and all that. So and I think the game's cool too. I like the world aspect to it, and kind of like how you race through. And I like that there's some new like multiplayer modes as well. There's the regular cup. You can play the 4 race. You can play the 4 race cup, but then you can also play like the like endurance match, the enduro Mario Kart, where you race for a while and then you go through a certain checkpoint and then you start whatever, like 20 characters racing. That is cool as well. A lot more characters racing. Um, and then through the first checkpoint, it's down to like 16 and then 12 and then 8 and then 4. So if somebody in the group is not placing uh, at or above the level required to continue racing, then they get eliminated. Excuse me, and everybody else continues to race from there. But it looks great. I'm excited to see some more Switch 2 games. We were looking through the store. It's like, well, talking to my son, it's like, what do we want to play? Because it's usually just me and him playing mostly the video games and stuff. And it's like, what do we want to play? It's like, you know what? I never played Hyrule Warriors, and it has co-op or from my quick search. Like, yeah, it has 2-player co-op, split screen, which is fine. Another reason I want the 98 because I want my split screen to be a little bit bigger than the 83 from 13 feet back. And the Switch 2 version of Hyrule Warriors, I think it just came out, or it might have come out. It might come out tomorrow, actually, sometime imminent or just very recently. It's like, oh man, I'd like to play the new one because I want to see how good it looks on this hardware. But like, we've never actually played any Hyrule Warriors game, and that's the third one. So I'm like, dang it, let's just play them all. So I bought, this is it here on the right hand side. That's Hyrule Warriors 1 Definitive Edition, which is a Wii game or a Wii U game, updated for the Switch and now running on the Switch 2. It looks like a Wii U game. It looks like a Wii game. It looks old. It doesn't look bad, but it's it's not what we're used to playing graphics wise, of course, on the PC. But it's still fun. The gameplay loop is fun. We're leveling up our characters. We're probably already halfway done with it. So we're gonna our plan is to charge through Hyrule Warriors 1, then we'll move on to number 2. Hopefully number 2, I don't know if number 2 has a specific Switch 2 patch or performance patch or any upgrade, something like that. And I figure, okay, we'll just play all 3 of them anyway, and then we'll be on. Each one will get progressively better, look progressively better, play progressively better, and then we'll get to the third one that again is either just due out or imminent on here. But yeah, I think even like the menus, everything just looks nicer. It worked great, picked up really great with the Hyrule Warriors Age of Imprisonment. Age of Imprisonment. It looks like it's buyable now. What was the release date? Does it show us? Yeah, 11/6. Okay, it came out a couple weeks ago actually. So it was already on there. So I'm excited to play that one. Again, we'll get there when we get there. There's another game coming out that I'm really excited to play, which is the Marvel Cosmic Invasion, I think it's called. Comes out the first week of December. It's a like 2D sprite based Marvel beat 'em up, which is like right up my son and I's alley. I don't think we'll play it on this. Maybe we will though. Actually, I don't know. Probably buy it on the PC though. Play it on Steam, but super excited for that. So that will detour us away potentially from from the Nintendo first party games for a little bit when that hits. I think that's coming out again December 1st. There's also a He-Man and the Masters of the Universe 2D pixel side scroller beat 'em up game coming, I think soon as well. So I'm going to be jonesing to play that. But in between, we'll do our best to rocket through some Hyrule Warriors series in the meantime. I forgot what else I was going to say here. So yeah, so we were playing that. My son actually right now he switched over from robotics to game programming. So he's already coded in Unity a side scroller endless runner Flappy Bird style game with the submarine that's underwater kind of going through stuff, which is pretty awesome. But so I'm excited to play Marvel Cosmic Invasion because he's actually making a Marvel hero based side scroller pixel art 2D beat 'em up that he's coding himself within this class. So I've been helping him with a little bit. He's doing the art right now, and he's Captain America as his first character. It's gonna be awesome. I can't wait. A couple comments. Rin, hello, my friend. Hello, hello. Ooh, DJ Emmerich. Maybe some of the other guys that just joined could say this. What are the two top games? Two top games. Well, I thought that said available on the Nintendo Switch too. Two top games that we played. Well, Mario Kart, of course, because I did buy the bundle. So $4.99 got you the Mario Kart bundle with the digital game. And interestingly, if you buy it, be aware that it doesn't. There's not a code in the box. There wasn't a code in the box for me. It was like log into your account on the Switch, and you automatically get it. It like automatically was already there and kind of downloaded when we linked our account to this specific piece of hardware. Trying to find. Oh yeah, the eShop. Okay. In terms of the biggest games that are I think out right now, I'm just looking at the shop. Kirby's out. I think the Hyrule Warriors is a big one. I'm not sure what else has been updated. Oh, Donkey Kong, right? And Metroid, I thought too. I think there's a new Metroid. Yeah, what is this? Donkey Kong. What do they call it? Bonanza. Bonanza, not Bonanza. That might be pretty fun as well. So it's going to be interesting. Spent all this money on this 5090. We built this gaming PC, and I think we might be reasserting ourselves for some Nintendo Nintendo goodness. So the Zelda games as well. So talking with my son, that's another thing that we were considering was like, oh man, do we play Breath of the Wild now? Is it the right time to play it? Switch 2 upgrade. So the Switch 2 upgrade is out for both Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom. I think he would really dig Zelda, and I think we could have some fun playing that together. But I figured, let's do Hyrule Warriors first. It's a little more actiony, it's a little faster, and then we'll go from there. So, okay, let's get through these comments. So yeah, in terms of the top games, I guess that's what I would say. Probably at the top of the list. Some of those upgrades for Zelda, the Donkey Kong, and Mario Kart. So original Switch 2 games. See what Terminator says as well. What do you think are the top 2 games right now for the Switch 2 Terminator? Oh, there he is. Dang it, I missed most of this because of my theater room watching the third movie of the day. Oh man, it's a whole movie day going on. That's fine. We just started really talking about the Switch a little while ago. I kind of caught up to date on the living room project, talked about cleaning up some other things going on, stuff like that. So yeah, so I missed most of it too. Was working. Well, you guys can always roll it back after. Age of Calamity. Oh, okay, that's kind of sad. Oh, Age of Calamity only runs at 30 FPS with fairly low resolution, but it's really fun. I wonder if they say. I would have thought that they could have gotten some better performance out of this than that. I mean, the whole point of the new hardware. 43 gigabytes, 1 to 2 players. Yeah, it doesn't really give. Software supports following features: Amiibo, surround sound. Yeah, they don't give like game specs, but in any case, I think we're going to play it anyway. Hopefully, maybe if it's docked, it runs a little bit better too. Ooh, I wouldn't advise playing Age of Imprisonment if you haven't played Tears of the Kingdom yet. Oh, they're actually related, huh? Well, we're a little ways off, so we're just started on Hyrule Warriors 1 Definitive Edition. And then isn't there, I think there's another one, right? There's been 3 games. 3 games in the series. Yeah, Age of Calamity. So my intention is to play Age of Calamity after we play the original Definitive Edition one. Age of Calamity was 2020, so that was a Nintendo Switch game. Hopefully they do make a Switch 2 update for that as well. I was curious. I wasn't sure if a lot of the games would just like natively run better, they needed to be patched, or if they would charge for those patches, whatever. So we'll see. If there's some Black Friday sales coming up in the Nintendo eShop as well, we may pick up a few more games. I noticed there was a newer Mario Party. Always had fun with that, and so we'll see what else we end up picking up. It was also I realized also with the Nintendo stuff, you can buy, what do they call it? It's the game. Let me find it again. The voucher. You can buy a Nintendo Switch game voucher, and so. Oh, no, I don't want to do that. back. I don't want to spend it yet. The voucher system is pretty neat. So you can buy the vouchers for $100, 2 game vouchers for $100, which basically lets you buy two $60 games for $50 each. So you're saving $20. And if you can buy, I think I'm stuttering a little bit. Give it a second here. Okay, there we go. And if you can buy the vouchers online, even a bit cheaper, that's even better because you can double save on the voucher, save on the game. So we bought a voucher to buy Hyrule Warriors because it was $59. I'll probably regret it because I'm guessing the game will be on sale in a couple weeks. But yeah, Switch 2 is a great system. All the backwards compatibility is great for Switch 1 games. Yeah, Breath of the Wild, favorite game of all time. Never played it, so no Switch 2 upgrade for Age of Calamity, so the only benefit is hitting a locked 30 FPS and max resolution. So that's a benefit. Take advantage of the more popular hardware. Yeah, even play Breath of the Wild before Age of Calamity as well. Stories are all connected. Okay, yeah, we'll see how that goes. Julius, were you able to reinstall the second fan? No, I haven't done anything with the PC yet. I'll have to do that one night this week because I do want the PC online for the demo experience day on Saturday. So it's running, but I got to double check the drivers. And I realized actually I have a real little HDMI flexible extension piece. So I may be able to just put the fan back in the top and use the extension piece. So that's something else that I need to test. I didn't even realize I had this. It's from RUI Pro as well. They had sent me some like short HDMI cables and some other stuff in the past. And in the box, what I thought was another short HDMI cable was not. It's like a 4-inch, real thick cable, flexible HDMI extender, male to female extender. So I may try that as well, or we'll just put the fan on the back. Students say, my last theater upgrade is done, including calibration. Awesome. Wow, does it sound better? AVM 90 dual M28s. There you go. Yeah, he's running the same thing that we got currently in the Techthusiasm home theater. Awesome. Debanez, welcome back. Name I haven't seen in a little bit. Are you foregoing any prep for CES? Any hopes? Anything? Or for CES? Sorry, I read that as CD. I'm like, oh man, that's a long ways away. I'm not intending to go to CES. I probably could. I kind of would like to. I've never been to one. I would like to go to at least one. I do know like some of the other folks that have gone have not always been thrilled with going to CES. I think like Michael Youthman, he went last year and like they left early because they it wasn't working out, or it's just hard environment, hard. And I don't know, the TV news cycle. Yeah, I don't know. I have to see. I'm not planning on it right now, but at one point, I probably would be wise for me to go. I don't know if I'd want to go solo though. So this is the kind of thing where I might be better off waiting, go next year, a couple years. My son will get a little bit older, and then he can go. He can be my cameraman. He can contribute and help do stuff, things like that. I might be able to get more out of the trip if I wait a little bit later, but I'll be able to get all the same information not being there. So not spending the money, not getting exposed to all the crud and sickness that everybody seems to come back from CES, and just the load of the show. Terminator saying the story in both the Age of games would be lesser. Oh, interesting. Lesser without the context of Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom. Cool. All right. Well, I'll have to decide that. Those are long games. I kind of like shorter, more action-oriented games in my life right now, but yeah, we'll see. See what we play next. So that's pretty much what I had for today. Again, I'll follow up with some more Switch content. Again, that video, which is the setup, the docking video, and all that stuff. The long one. I realized too, I did that one I could have made a little bit better. I should have done a multi-camera setup so that we could have shown us and shown the screen at the same time. but we recorded it, so I edited it and made it, and we'll publish that soon. So I'll do the This Week in Kaleidoscape, continuing that series actually. Although you know what, I might not do. Maybe I'll do the vlog tomorrow morning. Oh, so extra special. Maybe I'll publish the vlog tomorrow morning, and then I have to record the This Week in Kaleidoscape video in the evening because I work during the day anyway. So I have to do it in the evening, and I've been publishing that video at like 8 p.m. And I think it's kind of dying very quickly amongst my other videos because of the late publish. People aren't really looking for it at 8 p.m. in the evening, and then by the time the next morning rolls around, it's not getting as much traction as I thought it would. I thought it would be a fun and interesting series. So I think what I'm going to end up doing is recording the This Week in Kaleidoscape videos Tuesday night, and then I'll just release them Wednesday morning. I think my prime time to release video content is on the weekdays around 10 a.m. ish. That's what YouTube tells me, where all the people watching my videos generally tend to focus towards. So maybe I'll flip the release order around. We'll do the vlog tomorrow, This Week in Kaleidoscape Wednesday. Then I've got the long switch unbox setup video coming. Maybe that'll be this week. Maybe I'll hold it for next week, but I'll make that decision and get it up for members. I also picked up, I should have brought one in here to show it. I picked up a couple of like LED light strips, magnetic strips for the rack. Really, really cool little tool. So I made a little video about that, kind of showcasing that. I have that to publish and share. And then I should have led with this as well, but Kaleidoscape is the new version of KOS was announced a couple of days ago, going into the weekend actually, and will be updating in people's systems soon. So there's some nice UI improvements there. HDMI CEC is enabled. So I keep looking. My system has not updated yet, and it usually is in the kind of the first early wave of updates. So I need to do a Kaleidoscape video, and then we'll do a living room calibration video. Coming, as I mentioned, we got the JVC firmware update. We got the UPS to install back there. I don't know if I'm going to record anything on Saturday. I kind of would rather just hold the event rather than record, and I don't know that a lot of people want to be on camera anyway. So a lot of times at events or holding an event or going to an event, I just like to be present. I don't want to have to mess around with the channel in the process. So so there may not be a video from the get together on Saturday, but rest assured, we'll definitely talk about it. So that'll probably be something we chat about next week, and maybe even have a couple of folks on. There's a variety of folks again in the audience. Terminators coming, so looking forward to that. Oh, can I make at least one request for a demo? Yeah, just send me a text. Let me know what you want to hear. I asked in my AVS forum post if people had specific requests. I try to get those movies loaded on the Kaleidoscape ahead of time. So just shoot me a text and let me know if I have it or it's reasonable for me to pick it up and download it. I will try to accommodate that. I'll probably make a little bit of a playlist of some certain stuff to go through. There's quite a few people I think that will be coming, so we'll kind of do our best to cycle. But then after we kind of recycle or folks stick around, we can continue to play and do more independent requests and stuff like that. So Deben is asking, I've been keeping up with the living room build in progress on final calibration. So we talked about this a little bit earlier. I have a good Arc Genesis cal running in the living room right now. I'm just wondering, am I really getting all of the bass out of the speakers with the current Arc Genesis settings? So what I need to do is what I'm planning to do is just sending an email to some of the folks that I know at Anthem that are like the experts that I want to send them a couple of screenshots of my calibration from the Arc Genesis tool, send them like the PDF report of what is happening with the cal, and then double check, do I need to do anything to tweak this, particularly with no subwoofer, to make sure that we're not cutting off, that we're not cutting off the low end of these speakers unnecessarily in any way as full range towers, so to speak. So I probably will try to get that email sent tonight, because if there is any tweaks that I need to do, I also want to get those done for Saturday. So I got a lot of stuff to do for Saturday. I got to finish cleaning up, finalize my giveaway bin, recalibrate the theater, make sure the living room is kind of fully set in its best presentation and good to go. Get the PC configured and fully validated and ready to play some games and get the catering order in, get some other stuff set up and all that prepped and ready to go. So that's going to be really my every night this week. Been doing so much Techthusiasm work lately. Pretty much work for the day job, work for Techthusiasm, try to read a little bit and go to bed. Along with the and then get the family time and stuff like that in these last few weeks. It'll be nice to have the projects reach a point of stability for a little bit before we get on into the next thing. So it's 6:10. Everybody up there is waiting for me to eat dinner. I think my wife made some awesome homemade chicken soup for dinner today, so I'm going to go enjoy that. And actually, maybe there's even a chance that we could watch a movie tonight. We'll see. So thanks everybody for coming out. Fun time as always. Appreciate it. Thank you so much. Fun conversation. All of that. Of course, again, if I can help anybody with what you've got going on, particularly as we get into the holiday season, shopping season, if you're doing some upgrades, you want some advice, you want some feedback, consultation, whatever. And if I can hook you up with any of this awesome stuff that I can access and offer directly or through my partners and any of that, please, please consider coming to me. Give me a chance. If you like the content, it inspires you, it educates you, it helps you out. Give me a chance to win your business and serve you with my expertise and knowledge and all of my capabilities. So you can reach out to me, Jeremy at techthusiasm.net via email. Go to www.techthusiasm.com. All kinds of information there. And even if you don't see something in the brand listing on the webpage, still give me a shot. Reach out to me first. I'm working on some stuff. And I can already actually access a couple of more brands than I've announced or put on the webpage yet. So more news and information will be forthcoming here pretty soon as we finish up the living room and bring our attention back down to this dedicated theater space right here. So thanks for watching. Come on back for more home theater discussion and fun. Have a good one, everybody. And I'll see some of you on Saturday.